I was born in Riverside, California.
And still reside in Riverside today?
No, I live in Detroit. Been living in Detroit since I was about 1.5 years old.
And do you remember what the reasoning was back then? From Riverside to Detroit?
Expensive as hell, for sure.
Do you still have any family in Riverside today or no?
Yeah, like a lot of my mama family other side stay in LA and like the West Coast, and then my daddy family stay in the South.
How often do you go back to Riverside?
I'm always in LA all the time. I mean, I don't really go to Riverside,
Okay.
but I'm always in LA though, for sure.
Just curious, for those watching not familiar with Riverside, how far is that from LA, let's say?
About 45 minutes to an hour, depending on traffic and stuff like that.
Now, as far as Detroit, is it a certain part of Detroit you represent?
Yeah, I'm from the West Side, Puritan, Strathmore.
And what was that like for you growing up in Detroit? Can you paint that picture for us?
I mean, just like, I wouldn't say poverty because it wasn't that bad, but you know, we had to make ways for sure. And then, you know, as long as you mind your business and stay out of people's business, you ain't got to worry about nothing, for real.
Now, when it comes to the American society, financially, people are placed into classes. There's poor, there's lower middle class, there's upper middle class, there's rich. Where did you say, or where do you think you'd fall in line more specifically?
At that time, or?
Yeah, growing up for you.
Okay. I mean, I wouldn't say poor, because I had everything I needed, but I ain't get the stuff that I wanted though. You know, if I wanted something, I had to go get it myself.
Was your family ever able to move higher financially in class as you grew up, or did they stay at that level there?
Yeah, it was lightweight, like, you know, up and down type. But like, I think it probably got like worse, like getting older, you know what I'm saying? Because when I was younger, I guess maybe because I ain't noticed it, you know what I'm saying, or whatever, but when I got older, I started realizing everything and what I had to help out with and what I got to pick up on and everything like that.
I see. How young were you when you had to help out?
About 12, 13-ish, like coming right out of middle school.
Is that something you were asked to do?
No, that's just something I just did.
I see.
Like,
and how would you help out specifically back then?
I mean, we like, with what, or like, how did I get the money?
Yeah, how would you get the money?
However it came, whatever. I ain't discriminate. I ain't had nothing. So shit, I had to do what I had to do to get it. I used to shoot dice, used to shoot with trick dice, rob, steal, snatch chains, however it came, for real.
Very dangerous stuff.
Yeah.
Stuff people see in newspaper headlines, and sometimes for bad outcomes.
Yeah.
Even with gambling, we've seen news stories where people end up hurt physically. There's violence to even death.
For sure.
Did you face this stuff back then? Did you face death? Did you have a near-death experience when you were in this type of activity? Did you face incarceration? Did you face violence? Did you face these things back then?
I mean, I faced violence, but, you know, unfortunately, not unfortunately, but good thing that I ain't never had to do no prison time or nothing behind it, or, you know, I ain't never got hurt by nobody else, or, you know what I'm saying, nothing like that. But, I mean, I done been to jail plenty of times, but I ain't never had to do like no prison time, no long stay or nothing like that. It's always been like in and out cases, pistol case, and tickets wherever I owe, and I got hella cases, man. But supervision of prostitution, pimping and pandering, I'm good on all that shit, though. That shit all dropped.
These type of cases that you faced, juvenile stuff, adult stuff?
It's crazy because I never got in trouble not one time as a juvenile. Everything started happening once I turned 18. Caught a pistol case at 19. Then I got off probation. Little police saying, oh, you fit the description of this, going to jail for stuff like that. And then, like, last year was when I caught them 2 other cases, but they ended up getting dropped.
Now, you've done so much different types of street activity that you described, but when it first started for you, was it, at 12 years old, was it a family member or a friend that put you on to the start of this type of activity?
I mean, I wouldn't say nobody, like, put me on, because it was, like, me and everybody I hung with, we, like, all come from the same cloth. We come from the same neighborhood. We come from the same type of problems. So it's like, we put our mind together like, shit, we got to do this to get some money. However, like I say, however it came. Whatever it was, shooting dice, whatever it was.
Now, at 12 years old, was there a thought about getting a job? Did you try to attempt to get a job? Or was it this route first?
I actually never tried to get a job until I was like older. Like when I was like probably like 17, I tried a summer job. Did that for the first week, got some trick dice, quit. Then I think like when my daughter was on the way, I had got a job for like one day. And I just couldn't do it. I'm like, no, I can't do this shit. I'd rather go get it however I gotta do it.
What was that, you remember what that one-day gig was?
Yeah, washing some dishes.
At a restaurant?
At a hotel.
The summer job, did you, well, you got some trick dice and then you quit?
Yeah, for sure.
So that didn't last. Was that a tough job at all?
The summer job?
Yeah.
For sure. Standing in the middle of the motherfucking parking lot, big ass tarps. You gotta take this thing and spray them bitches. Man, I couldn't do that shit. I ain't gonna lie. I've been this same size my whole life. Them bitches was heavy as hell. I don't fuck with all that.
What was your actual role at that summer job?
To clean big ass pool tarps.
Oh, okay, I see.
Like the ones that go on like the amusement park pools though, like not no little pool from your backyard. Big ass ones. I'm talking about them bitches down there covering the whole parking lot.
What made that job so tough? It was because your size? Or was it just the actual labor or work?
The labor or work, and it was just like, I've never been a fan of like just getting up and going to do something on somebody else's time, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm like, man, this reminds me of school. I never liked school.
Were there any crazy stories that happened with that job in that short amount of time? Anything that happened out of the norm or no?
Nah, not that I can remember.
Now, when it came to gambling and it came to dice, and you mentioned trick dice here, did you ever get caught from others that gambled with you on those type of cheating ways?
Yeah, we got caught a few times, but only one time turned bad. But like other times, people like, I see you with them, like not really trying to do nothing. But one time, I actually wasn't even at this dice game. It was like 3-4 of my mans. They was at a dice game. Nah, my man's older brother took them to the dice game because he like, man, y'all niggas be hitting. So we gonna take y'all over here and shoot with my mans. So we go over there. We like, man. They go over there. They like, yeah, we finna hit these niggas for everything. They get in there. They shooting. Dog going along with it. He letting them bet everything. So right before the dice game over with, he like, shit, everything good. But before y'all leave, let me see them dice. So, mind you, when you get trick dice, they come with 2 pair. It's like it's a regular and some trick dice. So, my man's trying to hurry up and put the trick dice in his pocket, and one fell out. So he grabbed it. He like, damn, y'all was gonna come in my house and rob me. He knocked on, that nigga was big as hell. He knocked on the ceiling. He like, hey, bring my gun downstairs. Motherfuckers, he take all y'all money out y'all pocket. Who dice is they? My man's free my nigga Stone. He got his hand on the speaker. He got a sledgehammer. He like, if you don't tell me who dice they is, I'ma smash your hand. He just looking like, I don't know who dice they is. So my other man's like, they all are dice. They all are dice. So he like, long story short, he basically took everybody's money, but he gave like 2 people money back. He gave my man Stone his money back because he ain't say nothing, he ain't budge, he wasn't like scared, and gave my man's Ready Boy, Free Ready Boy, gave him his money back because that was his brother. You know, his brother brought them to the dice game. And then right when they was walking out, they thought it was over with. He fired on my man's. Come here. Dropped him right out the crib. They leave from there. Now, mind you, the whole time, we been hitting his brother and then with the trick dice. So he figured it out. He called him like, meet me on Hartwell. We finna beat these niggas' ass. These niggas been hitting us with trick dice for months. Pull up over there. They get to beating them niggas up. Shit, that was like the worst thing that ever happened for real. He ain't never got like no gun play or nothing like that.
Now, when it comes to the trick dice, would you always, when you had the trick dice, would you always use trick dice, or would there be some times you wouldn't use trick dice and it was just regular? Like, would you switch it up, or
I mean,
when you had these trick dice, you was using them?
I mean, it's like, really, we coming with trick dice. 9 times out of 10, the dice gonna be white, so we coming with them anyway. But we damn near had a pair for whatever color dice you had. It ain't really matter about that. But it's like, you know who to use them on. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, you ain't finna go on nobody block. You know they be on that and try to use no trick dice. And you know what I'm saying? You ain't prepared. So, I mean, yeah, it was people that we like, nah, we ain't gonna do it on him. But other than that, like, we didn't care.
So there were times you would play fair.
Yeah, like with the homies. But other than that, we trying to wipe their ass for sure.
Now, when it came to, I have so many notes here. When it came to, you know, these type of issues that could arise with this type of street activity. And, you know, there's always, of course, certain levels of stress. There's the looking over your shoulder feeling, violence, incarceration that you could face. And like I mentioned, worst case, death. Did you know this stuff from the jump at 12 years old before you get into it? Or do you find out this stuff later as you know?
At 12, it's like, I really went all the way in there, you know what I'm saying? Like, that started happening when I was like 15, 16. Like, that's when I started making like penitentiary chances and, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. So it was like, at 12, I was just, you know, doing whatever I had to do. If I had to shovel some snow, if I had to, you know what I'm saying, whatever. So it's like, I ain't gonna sit up here and just act like I was, you know, straight head buster at 12 years old or nothing like that, no.
And you also mentioned that you did have a child on the way at one point during our discussion.
Yeah.
Were you considered a teen parent by the time you had her, or this was after your teenage years?
I had my baby, she'll be 3 in September. So this was about 4 years ago.
So you weren't a teenager then. I see. When it came to the street activity side of things, did you ever have an exit strategy with it? Did you ever say, you know what, this is my plan to get out of it?
I mean, it's always like, when you in this type of lifestyle, you always say, all right, if I get this, I'm gonna do this, and this, and that. But it seemed like every time you get what you set for, something come up and you gotta pay for this and this problem and that problem, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, a lot of people for sure got to plan on, oh, I'm gonna get this and get out, you know what I'm saying? But it don't always work like that.
Thinking back hindsight on the different types of street activity you got into, was there any regrets on that past of yours? On some of the things that you've done?
Only regrets that I really have is going downtown the day that I lost my nigga Dots. That's the only day. I ain't gonna lie. Cause I felt it. I'm like, no, we ain't going. But we end up still going. So that's the only regret I really got. Besides that, I'm live with the punches.
And that was somebody that got killed?
Yeah.
Was that the, in your life, was that the death that was the most impactful on you?
Yeah, probably so. Because he was like a little brother, you know what I'm saying? Like he was like at the time, cause I got a little brother right now, he's 19, but at the time he was like 14 or 15, you know what I'm saying? And he couldn't really hang around me and be what I was on. So it was like, that was always the way I wanted my little brother to be like, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
How did he pass away?
He got killed, he got shot.
How'd you hear about it?
I was right there.
That's tough.
It's like, shit, it come with the lifestyle we live, you know what I'm saying?
Was there, and I know you said you do regret that moment, but when you regret it, is it because there's like a feeling of guilt or?
For sure. Cause it was like, I already, like, I said before we left the block, I'm like, it's good, they ain't trying to take you, I'm gonna stay over here with you. And then my mans end up getting the car, cause his car window had his girl just bust his car window out, I think, or something like that. And it had glass in the seat where he was supposed to sit at. So my other man's like, I'm finna go clean it out so y'all can come. I'm like, I ain't tripping, I'm gonna sit on the block. They came back, we jumped in the car, and then the whole time that shit was just weird, for real.
How'd you guys first meet? Do you remember how you guys actually met?
We grew up together. Like, I don't remember exactly how, cause like when I started like actually like feeding, cause they all was younger than me. You know what I'm saying? I'm 25, so he was like, he'd be 21 or 22. So it was like, I ain't really, like they wasn't around when we was doing what we was doing, but they was always around the corner, and that's like a female that was close to us, like it was like our sister. That was like they brothers and cousins, you know what I'm saying? So it was like we always looked over them, make sure they was good, gave them money for the ice cream truck, you know, big brother shit type shit.
When this happens and he actually gets killed, did he die instantly? Did he?
I'm trying to get into that for real.
Okay. Do you attend the funeral?
Yeah, for sure. Wouldn't have missed it for nothing.
How'd you cope since his death?
Get high. That's all I do for real. Get high every day.
Self-medicate. Ever seen, and this could be for any death, not just his, but, you know, coping with something of this magnitude. Ever seen a counselor for this stuff? Ever seen?
No, I don't need no counselor. I ain't
therapy?
Going crazy or no shit like that. I don't need no counselor. I'm good.
Even now?
Yeah, for sure.
Someone going through something similar, right? The death of a close person like your relationship. Anything you would say to somebody watching this, going through these type of motions themselves?
Just go hard. That's what they want you to do. They want you to do whatever y'all was talking about, you know, all the shit that y'all, oh, we gonna do this, do it. For sure.
Someone experiencing this type of magnitude of a death, sometimes they become cold, sometimes they become negative, sometimes they turn into a savage. Other people, they go through a death like this and they become strong, positive, and motivated in a certain sense. How did you?
Shit, a little of both. Cause I gotta be there for my nigga Pay. Well, at that time he good now, but I had to be there for my nigga Pay. Let him know like, You feel me? This what Dots wanted you to do. You feel me? You got to keep going. Because at that time, he like, I don't even want to do this shit no more. I'm like, boy, that's what he want us to do. So it's like, you feel me? But then again, it's like, I'm like, shit, I'm ready to, you feel me? Whoever.
What do you miss the most about him?
He pay attention to everything. Swear, everything.
Do you have a favorite memory of him you could share with us today?
Yeah. We was in the whip. It was me, my nigga KJ. I want to say Maz, Paid and Dots. We was getting high. He talking about some, bro, why is y'all doing this, bro? I don't drink fours. I drink twos and ones. No, yeah, that was my favorite one for sure. Mm-hmm.
Now, you were already doing music at this time?
When he died?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had just like really got into it. I probably been in it probably like a year and a half, maybe two.
And did he do music himself?
No.
He did not. When this happened, did this change your direction of music at all, or no?
No, it actually like made me want to be more of a rapper. Like, I don't know why I did that, but it was like, cause we always used to talk like, bro, when we get rich, we gonna do this, we gonna do this. So it was like, nah, I gotta do it. But it just like, it wasn't even the fact that I had to do it. It's just like, something just turned on like, do this shit. You feel me? Like, you got fans, do this shit.
Have you ever made a song about him?
No, I can't do
it. You've attempted before, or didn't even?
Yeah, I attempted. Like when he first passed away, Mazo, and I think, Mazo, he had made a song about him. I couldn't do it though. Talk about him all the time. That's my nigga for sure. Love that nigga to death.
I see. What do you think he would think right now of where you're at musically?
You going crazy, bitch. That's exactly what he'll tell me for sure. No cap. That right there. You going crazy, bitch.
Now, when it came to the different types of street activity you had gotten into, thinking back about your past, was it worth it? Was the risk worth the reward, or what you got out of it?
I say so because a lot of my friends went to jail, and I seen who was really my friends, who wasn't, who was really built for this, who wasn't, who I need to be around, who I don't. When the police started coming around, everybody started doing what they was doing. So I'm like, yeah, I don't say it for sure.
Now, when it came to your parents, and I don't know, I know we didn't really get a chance to talk about your parents yet, but did you come from a two-parent household, or?
For the most part, till I was like about, let's say like 12 or, no, like 11. And then my mom and my daddy had split up, and then I ended up staying with my daddy for a minute. Till I was in like 7th grade. Then when I got in 7th grade, I moved back with my mama. And I basically stayed with my mama for the rest of the time until I got on my own. And then my mama ended up getting back with my daddy. And then I ended up going over there so I can help out, you know. They was asking my mama, because both of them disabled. So I had to step up, basically. My little brother was in there, had to make sure they all had somewhere to be.
Are they still together today?
Mm-mm.
They had split again at some point?
Yeah.
After you were 18?
Yeah. They got back together after I was 18.
Oh, okay, I see.
But they just recently split up.
I see. When they did split, did you have a choice on who you were living with, mom or dad, or that was out of your decision making there?
it was like one had to go with one, and my little brother was young, so I let him go with my mama.
I see.
Because I ain't really want him to be with my daddy by himself.
When the split happened, were both parents still in your life throughout the whole time, or?
Yeah, basically until I had moved back with my mama, and then when I was in I was in ninth grade, and me and my man Stone, we was playing with a gun, and I had got shot, and basically that's when me and my daddy fell out.
And where are you at today, terms-wise? Yeah.
I don't fuck with him.
Since that point. Why not?
He do too much hoe shit. I fuck with real niggas. He ain't no real nigga. He don't show nobody how to be a man. Feel like I had to learn that on my own.
When it came to your parents and again, you got into different types of street activity, but when they first find out, you know, you're into this this lane here, how did they find out, and what was their reaction to it? The first time they find out you've delved into it.
I mean, my daddy never really knew what I was doing. Like, he knew I wasn't doing right, but he just never knew what I was doing. But my mama, she her first time figuring out like what I was doing, I had thought she was gone, and I walked in the house. I had a big ass gun on me, and I'm walking in the house with it. And once I walk in, I just see her. We lock eyes, and I'm like, damn. I go to the back, I put it in there, and she just texts me like, I love you. I'm like, I love you too.
Mm. Does she try to persuade you to a different route, or because of the financial situation you're in,
Yeah,
and you're helping out?
Yeah, she do definitely. Like, I ain't gonna say like at that time she was when I was younger, but because I think she just really just didn't know how to tell me. Because my mama, she like a sweetheart, you know what I'm saying? She ain't strict, nothing like that. So I just think she really ain't know how to tell me, like, without like scaring me or hurting my feelings, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it was she was gonna say, I don't think she know how to basically say it to me.
Now, when it came to the school side of things, and I want to talk about, you know, your schooling history here in a little bit, but you starting at the age of 12, obviously you're 1 foot in school, 1 foot in this type of lifestyle. Were you able to complete high school at the very least?
Yeah.
You were able to graduate?
I graduated a year late, but I did it, for sure.
And we'll get into the details about all that, but just curious here, when there are people I've done interviews with that are in the streets, 1 foot in school, 1 foot in street activity, sometimes they don't finish, sometimes they drop out. And it could be a variety of reasons, but you know, sometimes it's the streets consume them, sometimes they feel like they don't need school anymore, this is their way to earn money. What kept you in to at least graduate high school when I do interviews with people that don't?
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, the only thing that really made me want to graduate was like to show my mama I can graduate from high school for real, but it's like, I don't know, it wasn't hard or nothing. It's just, I just never really liked school. I ain't never was with it or nothing. I ain't no dumbass nigga or nothing like that. I get 3.0. I graduated my last year in high school with a 3.0, but I just was a badass kid, like skipping, just all bad shit.
Was it more so self-motivated, or was it your mom pushing you, or?
It really was self-motivated, for real, like, cause it was like, I'm still in high school, my mans and them done graduated, I'm the only person here, damn near the oldest person here, so I'm like, man, I gotta get my shit together, I gotta get up out of here.
Because if you think about all these elements here, you graduating late, you don't even like school to begin with, you're 1 foot in, 1 foot out, I could easily see somebody like yourself with this description saying, forget school, I'm just...
For sure, I thought about it so many times, but I don't know, it's just like, I just did that to, like, on some what if type shit for
I do want to talk about school here in a second and delve into a little bit about that. But just, I want to just finish up on the thought about your parents. I forgot to ask you a few questions about that. But dealing with the split of your parents, the separation of them. Somebody watching this may be going through something similar, dealing with the split of their parents. Now, circumstances could be different for everybody, but is there anything you would say to somebody going through those motions, hearing your story, watching this interview?
I mean, only you can make the right decision for yourself, you know what I'm saying? If it come to the point to where you gotta choose where you're gonna go, you only can make that decision for yourself. And it's like, you can't let nothing that you're going through in life stop from what you trying to get to.
Did you have other family members that were in street activity aside yourself?
I mean, besides like my brothers and sisters, I ain't gonna say I don't kick it with my family, but it's like my family I'm in Detroit, they in the South and the West Coast, so it's like I don't really get a chance to even be with them, to even know what they got going on. But out of my brothers and sisters, like me and my sister used to do shit together, me and my older sister. And my little brother, he was growing up, he wanted to try to be like me, but I was on his head like, no, you know what I'm saying? That ain't what you're supposed to do. And my older brother, he was goofy. He would do dumb shit.
Either of your parents, were they involved in the streets themselves?
My mama worked, my daddy worked.
Now, on the school side of things, you kind of gave us a glimpse of, you know, what kind of kid you were. I know you said trouble and things of that nature, but you were smart. You mentioned that. Were you a part of a certain crowd back then when you were in school, in your schooling years?
The same people I'm with.
How big was gang activity back then in your city?
Gang activity really ain't big. We ain't like gang, but it's like, you know, groups. Cause it might be people from 7 Mile that's cool with people from Schoolcraft or something, and they so tight that they gotta find a way to like bring it together. You know what I'm saying? So that's how they end up making a group or whatever. But it's like, as far as like gang banging, like Crips and Bloods, like it ain't really heavy on that.
You were part of a group though, growing up?
Yeah.
Care to share what group it was?
Money, Power, Respect, NPR.
When it came to a group of that nature, it's not something that you have to get jumped in, so to speak. Not like that.
It really just be like a group of homeboys who they always together, and you know what I'm saying? So people be like, hey, who is Dog, and Dog? You know what I'm saying? So they just had to put a name on it, basically.
Was that a group that already existed before you joined, or you're part of the, you know, creation period of that group?
Me and 2 other my mans made that. I mean, it's probably NPR or somewhere else, but as far as Detroit, on the West Side, we made that. I made that, me.
Now, when it came to music, we mentioned that a little bit here. And at the time of your friend's death, you were already started maybe a year and a half into it by the time that situation happened. But how young did that actually start for you? Are you able to pinpoint when music started?
I was about 20.
Oh, so this was after school?
Yeah.
High school at the very least.
I mean, when I was a kid, you know, me and my cousin, we used to record on like the boombox. You know, you can record over the tapes. We used to do that until my mama found them, and she like, "Boy, you on this motherfucker cussing like a motherfucker." So after that, I just, you know, gave it up, and then we used to always just be in the studio with like Band Gang, and just always there watching them getting high. So. Basically, I started rapping because 2 of my mans, that's like the crowd that I hung with, was in jail. They had called home and they had like, you know, talked some shit on the song. And Pay Will, he was calling the song Money, Power, Respect, NPR. So I'm like, man, I'm finna get on this bitch. He like, come on. I'm like, so I start writing. I got like 2-3 bars. I'm like, hey, I'm finna get on this bitch for real. He like, nigga, come on. I get on it. And then Bugs got on it, free Bugs. Bugs had got on it. And then when he got on it, I'm like, fuck it, Bugs, come on, let's do it. I'm like, let's do a couple more songs. And then they showed us the beats they weren't using. We went through there, we did a couple more songs. So Lonnie, Lonnie Benz, he had came in there, he like, who is this? He listen, he like, damn, y'all niggas kinda hard, I ain't gonna lie. He like, I'm finna get on this, I'm finna get on this, I'm finna get on this. So you feel me, they was just jumping on everything. And I told like all the ShredGang members, Cab, Horace, Strap, and Bugs, I'm like, shit, we just gonna put this shit out. If they fuck with it, we gonna keep going. If not, fuck it. We just made some free money. So put it out, and they was fucking with it. They like, oh, y'all niggas hard, keep going. So just kept going, and then that's basically like how we started rapping for real, just playing around.
Did you ever do music class in school? Did you ever join the band? Did you ever do
yeah,
chorus?
I used to play the drums.
You
when
did?
I was in like middle school, elementary school.
It was only like a 1 grade type of thing?
I did it like from like 3rd to 5th, I think.
What led you to that instrument?
I just couldn't do the
Recorder?
just all the blowing, like I'd be about to faint.
I see. Were you any good at it when you did do it?
The drums?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was the snare section leader.
Why not carry that on into middle school?
Because the middle school I went to didn't have no band.
If it did, you probably would have?
Yeah, probably so.
Now, I know you there was a time when you did the cassette recording over dubbing type of thing.
Yeah.
But even during your school days, before you were 20 years old and you start taking rap serious, and we described that earlier, were you the type ever to freestyle with other classmates? Would you battle rap any other classmates?
Not with like classmates. Like I ain't never like started actually even playing around with rap until I got out of high school. And then when I got out of high school, like it used to be me, my man's DJ, and my man's Deke, Free Deke. We used to be smoking and we get high, and then I just be flaming them rapping, but you know what I'm saying, making jokes about them rapping. And he'd be like, bro, you need to rap, bro. You really can rap, bro. You doing all this shit off the head, bro. You can rap. I'm like, man, I'm not no fucking rapper, man. And he just always used to be in my ear, do it, do it, do it. So finally just played around with it.
Ever participated in talent shows growing up?
Mm-mm.
What about sports? Ever
Yeah.
gotten into sports?
Yeah, I used to play basketball and baseball.
Into high school as well, or no?
Yeah.
Varsity?
Yeah.
For both?
Yeah.
What led you to introduce to these sports?
Shit, I've been playing basketball since I was a kid. Like, that's just like everybody dream when they first come out. They want to be a basketball player, whether they know how to play it or not. But I just always knew how to do it. And then I like got into baseball because my daddy used to play baseball overseas in Italy. And he used to always be like, boy, it pays so much money, it pays so much money. And then he finally like started working out with me. He like, oh, you really know how to play. So he just like used to try to push me a little bit. Then after so long, it was just fun to me, so I just kept going with it.
Which sport were you better in?
Baseball.
You were. Did you enjoy it more, or you were just better in that sport?
I was just better in it. I enjoyed basketball more for sure.
Kind of interesting how life works. When it came to, and you did varsity for both, even up to senior year?
No, I ain't played my senior year.
You didn't.
Because I had been in high school too many years.
Now explain that situation.
Shit, I was just bad as hell for real. Like my first high school that I went to when I got in high school, it was literally like 2 blocks away from my house. So it was like I come in there and it wasn't no strict high school. It was just one of them whatever high schools. We'd be in there in the hallway smoking or some shit. Get hungry, be like, I'm finna go to the crib, give me something to eat. Never go back to school, come up there at the end of the day. Like just skipping, all type of shit. Then I had ended up, when I started saying like, cause my man Stone ended up going to jail. So I'm like, he ended up going to jail because when I had got shot, he ended up going to jail, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm finna just go to school for a minute. And then when I tried to go to school after I got off my crutches, they like, no, you've been gone too long, you can't come in here. So I had to sit out a whole year. And then the next year I went to school, damn near went back on some bullshit. Like I ain't really get my act together till I was like 11th grade.
So you actually failed a grade.
Yeah.
What grade was it that you actually failed?
Ninth.
Okay. With these sports, what position were you in each, basketball and baseball?
Basketball, I used to play like the 1 and the 2, and then baseball, I play wherever. Catcher, pitcher, first, second, shortstop, third, outfield, whatever you want me to do. Designated batter.
What jersey?
Runner, whatever.
What jersey number did you have in each sport?
Basketball, I used to have 10, 4, and 13. In baseball, it was 13.
Any meanings behind any of those numbers?
Number 10 was for my nigga Gerald. He had died when I was in 9th grade. He used to play on the basketball team with us. His jersey number was 10. And number 4, that was for my man's Ratty Boy. He used to love basketball. He ended up getting 10 years when he was 17. And his jersey number was 4. And then 13, I used to always just like Steve Nash.
Now, were you, any of these sports, even when you did varsity, did you guys make it to like regional stuff, state stuff, national stuff?
I think it was like regionals with basketball. And then like when I had first got to the school, I was in 10th grade. I was playing JV. Our varsity had made it to like almost the states or whatever it was, or I don't know.
You went to 2 different high schools?
I went to 3 different high schools.
3 different high schools?
But I went to 2 of the high schools twice. Like I went to Cooley, then I went to Ford, then I went to Cooley, then I went back to Ford, then I went to Academy for Business and Technology in Melvindale.
Wow, okay. Explain why these different schools these many times. Obviously, you failed one of them.
Cooley. Should have never went there in my life. But I started going to, was it Cooley or Ford first? I think I started going to Ford first because my mom ain't want me to go to Cooley. But then I had fucked my knee up and I couldn't catch the bus to school no more. So I ended up having to go to Cooley, and then I ended up getting shot. They ended up kicking me out of there. I went to Ford, ended up going back to Cooley for a minute, and then leaving from Cooley, going to ABT.
Now, these different schools that you went to, I know sometimes when kids change schools, they might not have the same group of friends they went to school with or grew up with. Was that the case with you?
When I went to Ford, yeah. But like all the other schools, I went there because my mans went there. Like I'd have never went to ABT if it wasn't for one of my old friends that had went there.
When you went to Ford, was that tough when it came to making friends?
I never had a problem with like making friends, but I'm not even the type of person who try to make new friends. Like it was one of my homeboys, but he like wasn't like my everyday homeboy. Rest in peace, my nigga Stackhead. He was going there, and we like kind of like built a bond from going to school together. But other than that, I ain't really hang with nobody for real at Ford. I was just chilling.
The reason why I bring that up is because sometimes when people change schools, and as many times as you did, that can be, for some kids, a traumatic experience.
Yeah.
Was it for you or not really?
No, I really wasn't tripping, for real. Cooley and Ford was like 2 schools that I wanted to go to, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
But like everything else, it just like ended up happening, like just falling into place like off the shit that was happening. That's why I was bouncing back and forth.
Now, before people graduate, especially as a senior, In the yearbook, they give out these awards. They call them like senior superlatives. They give out awards like most likely to succeed, best dressed, biggest flirt, things of that nature. Did you ever win a senior superlative?
Yep, I won, I think, class hair. And I won prom king too.
You won prom king as well.
Yeah.
When it came to best hair, was it a different hairstyle than what you're sporting today?
I used to have like a curly fro with the taper.
Are you still living up to best hair today?
I just let it do this.
When it came to prom king, some people watch this interview and they want to know how to become prom king. Is there a secret to it or what?
No, I just never was like one of them people in school who like used to like pick on certain people or anything like that. And then I ain't gonna say I kind of stood up for people getting bullied because I mind my business, but I'd be like, man, go ahead, bro. Like, you know, he ain't doing nothing. And people used to just love me because I always was on some real shit for real.
The shooting incident, is there much you could say about that?
No, I don't really want to get into it.
Okay. But could you say where you actually had gotten shot at?
Yeah, right here in my hip.
Is the bullet still in you, or?
Yeah.
It is. Is it ever a chance it could come out?
Mm-mm.
Does that affect your body at all at this point?
Yeah, my motherfucking toes my 4 toes going to the left this way. Not my big toe, but the other ones, they don't got no feeling in it.
Because of that injury there.
Yeah.
I'm watching you today. Before you came to the interview, you seem to be pretty mobile.
Yeah. It
normally.
don't stop walking, but like every once in a while I have to take my shoe off and just like massage my foot. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nothing major or nothing like that though.
But where that bullet is, could it harm you in the future at some point, moving around in your body?
No, they actually said it'll do more damage taking it out
than where it's at
Yeah.
this point. I see. Have you jumped on an airplane before and gone through the airport?
Yeah. All the time.
Does that bullet ever trigger the metal detectors?
No.
Just curious. Okay, you graduate high school. Was there any thought? I know you hated school. That's what you said. But was there any thoughts on furthering your education after high school was over?
I actually, when I once I graduated high school, it was like like right at the end of the week, they was like having the little colleges come up there, and there was a trade school that had came up there. They was doing like welding and car modifications and stuff like that. And it was they was basically talking. I went down there and tried to do the welding program. It was like for 48 weeks, but I ain't end up finishing it though.
Why not?
Because I started making money.
So you dropped out of it.
Yeah.
Hindsight 2020, any regrets with that decision? Do you wish you would have finished it?
For sure.
How soon?
That probably was the dumbest shit I did.
How close were you to finishing out of those 48 weeks?
Shit, I probably did like 9 or 10.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I was only probably there for like 2 months, if that.
Did you have any of your friends going to there? Okay.
I had 4 of my homeboys, well, 3 of my homeboys.
Because I know when we were talking about high school, you always had somebody that went with you to one of those schools. So did that have any decision-making into you choosing that trade school, the fact that you had 4 people going there?
I told them to come with me. I'm like, shit, I ain't gonna go unless y'all go.
Oh, I see.
You know what I'm saying? So they like, fuck it, we gonna go. And then one of my other mans, he already was like talking about it, but he was like my nigga Lonnie friend. So it was like, fuck it, we all finna go to this shit.
With the trade school, is that something that you have to pay for out of pocket, or is that something you can get some sort of grant or scholarship for?
You can get a loan for it, but it was like a cheap school. It wasn't nothing like I think it was like 6,000 or something like that, 4,000.
I see. And what was your thoughts? What was your parents' thoughts when you had dropped out of the trade school situation? What did they think of that?
Really, because when I first got down there, they couldn't, you know what I'm saying, they couldn't really send me no money. They couldn't really, you know what I'm saying, so it was like, it was kind of hard for me when I first got down there. So I'm like, I kept telling them like, man, listen, if I can't get no money going on, if I can't do nothing down here, I'm finna leave. Like, I ain't finna stay down here and kill myself trying to get no education. And they never really knew that I started making money. So when I quit it, they thought like, he just couldn't take it no more, type shit.
Now, okay, when it comes to your family, as far as siblings, how many siblings did you actually have?
I got 4 brothers and 1 sister.
And where did you stand on that ladder?
I'm the second youngest.
What's that like, being the second youngest in the family? That position, that title there.
I mean, my second youngest, I want to say is like everybody else second youngest. Like, I damn near was like, damn near like the second oldest for real, like physically type. But I mean, it really wasn't, it wasn't no hard job or nothing like that. Only thing that was hard about it was like right now trying to keep my little brother out of trouble and make sure he on the right path so he can do for his son and everything like that.
Was there a time, as far as living arrangements, all the siblings were under one roof?
Yeah, that was a long time ago though. Probably like maybe 15 years ago, 11 years ago, 12 years, some shit like that.
What were the actual living arrangements like?
We had a nice house. We had it was, how many bedrooms? I think 5 bedrooms, 3 baths. It was like in the neighborhood though. Like one of them steals, like, you know what I'm saying? Something you just sneak up on. You end up getting a good house. That was the house we was living in right before the split. Before my mom and my daddy split up. First time.
Somebody watching this right now, maybe they're the second youngest of their family. Anything you would say to them? Second youngest of the fam.
I mean, take notes from your older siblings if they doing right, and try to keep your younger siblings on the right path.
Now, I can't remember, we talked about so many different things, but did you say anybody else in your family did music aside yourself, or was it just you?
Yeah, my little brother do.
Okay, he does.
Mm-hmm.
You started getting into music, I imagine, before he did.
Yeah.
Have you guys, you guys collaborate?
Yeah, got some hard shit coming.
Is it a supportive atmosphere or competitive between you two?
It's like a supportive competitive, because he younger than me, so you know what I'm saying? My man's gonna be gassing him up. Oh, Mo, he harder than you. He harder than you. You know what I'm saying? And then sometimes I give him a compliment like, you're supposed to be harder than me. You 18, you 19, you know what I'm saying? But it'd be like competitive and supportive, because I support everything he do. Whatever he want to do. If he want to do cartwheels for money, I support it.
What's his stage name, your brother?
7'2" Jordan.
Now, what does your family think about your music career at this point?
My mama love it. She just waiting for the, you know what I'm saying, the big bag to come through. That's all she waiting for. And then, like, I don't give a fuck what my daddy think. I don't care. And like my other family that's like out, that I, you know, keep in contact with and stuff like that, they support it. You know, they buy my merch, buy my CDs, all of that. Whether they listen to it or not, whether they wear it or not, they still support me, so.
When it comes to your mom, was she supportive right away of the music career choice? Sure. Or she had to warm up to it?
She was supportive because it was like, all right, you stepping out the streets. Like, she just felt like that was like a step closer out the streets.
What does she think about the actual music itself?
I mean, she ain't never told me like, oh, you talk like, she always seemed like she like it. But my mama always been into like street music and all stuff like that. So it's like, I knew she was gonna like it anyway.
What about the cussing? I know she didn't like the cussing back then on the cassette tape days, but
yeah, back then, I mean, she really don't trip now because I'm 25. You know what I'm saying? But and it's just like I don't like disrespect her like, and while I'm in front of her, I ain't just cussing up a storm, and you know what I'm saying, nothing like that. So she know I got respect for her.
has she ever had a chance to see you perform live yet?
No.
Not yet. When it comes to your mom, best advice she's given to you at this point? Is there something that she just always says that just sticks to you?
She said a lot of shit. I ain't gonna lie. I'm trying to think of something that just stick though. Pick your friends wisely.
Do you follow that advice today or no?
Still, always have.
When it comes to picking your friends, and I know you also mentioned it, there was a time when you saw people going to jail and this, that, and the third, and who was with this and not. And when it comes to picking, how do you do it?
I mean, I don't gotta worry about picking friends now because I done had them. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
But it's like I don't know. It's like basically, I just feel like your friends pick you. Like y'all pick each other. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all bond. Y'all got the same problems, or y'all can relate in some type of way. Like I don't feel like you pick your friends for real. That's when stuff start going wrong when you try to pick your friends.
When it came to the jailing situation and you saw who was who and this, that, and the third, thinking back hindsight 2020, would you be able to spot those differences before that situation occurred?
I was just blind to it because I thought they was my friends. For sure.